A very good evening to both of my evaluator. My name is Teng Sun Chie, and today I will present to you about my project, which is I have developed a heat stroke detection and warning system, or the short form is HDWS. Heat stroke is a kind of disease where our body can't adapt with the high temperature changes due to the hot weather, due to the hot environment. So for a normal person, our body temperature will be 37. But if our body temperature is going up until the 39, so we will has the high possibility to get the heat stroke. So this is the main reason that I developed this system, which is I want to prevent the heat stroke from happen and attack to our body. There are several symptoms of heat stroke before the heat stroke attack occur. The one of the heat stroke system is dehydration, dizziness, and feeling uncomfortable. I think most of us has get the heat stroke before, but we didn't notice because our community is rarely heard about the heat stroke term. Because one for example, if you are going out to the outdoor and you feel dehydrated, you feel very thirsty, you feel very dizzy due to the hot environment, this is one of the symptoms of the heat stroke. And proceed to the next one. So this is what about my project. My project is an embedded IoT device for heat stroke, where I have used the Raspberry Pi temperature sensor and mobile application uh, for monitoring the temperature of our body. So the device is a wearable device, and user must wear on their forehead when they are performing the activities outdoor. So the device will collect the temperature on their forehead and send to the mobile application for the monitoring system. And this is how the device will look like. This is the Raspberry Pi, the hardware component, and this is the things that the user will wear on their forehead. So there are temperature sensor that I install inside this headband, and there are also mobile application that can be used for the monitoring purpose. So about HDWS, it will provide a real-time monitoring system. It will provide notification through the SMS. So if the body temperature has raised until 39, a push notification will be pop up on the mobile application of heat stroke detection system, and their and the user relative also will receive an SMS regarding the heat stroke attack, where it will say that the user has high possibility to get the heat stroke, so they can aware that with the condition of the wearer, and they may take some precautious measure, like advise him to go to the air conditioned room, drink more water. And the next one, this is the objective of the development of the heat stroke detection system. The first one is I want to study the domain of heat stroke detection, where I have studied the heat stroke background during the development of the system. The next one is to design the developed system to measure environment and human body temperature and possibility result of getting the heat stroke, and to test and evaluate the intent functionality of heat stroke detection system. So all of these things I will elaborate more on the next slide, where all of these tasks I have achieved and I have done during the development of the heatstroke detection system. Okay, right now is this slide is the fact of heat stroke which that happened in Malaysia. So the first one is there are 14 cases that related to heat illness which reported by Ministry of Health, and 5 of the cases is the heat stroke cases. And there are 2 people were reported death which caused by heat stroke in Kelantan for year 2017. So the heat stroke, most of us does not aware with the heat stroke, but this is the fact that 2 people has died because of the heat stroke. So it's important for us to aware with the heat illness cases to ensure our body is healthy. So this is the technology that I have implemented during the development of the heat stroke detection system, where I have there are 2 different components for the heat stroke detection. The first one is the hardware part and the mobile application part. As you can see, the right side is the hardware and the left the left side is the hardware and the right side is the mobile application. So I have used the Raspberry Pi, Google Firebase, Twilio, and the temperature sensor for the hardware. Each of the component has its own advantage, so I have implemented this during the development of the heat stroke detection. So the Raspberry Pi is a microprocessor that I have used to process the data used to collect, and where it will process the data and perform processing works in HDWS. For the Google Firebase is a real-time database that offered by Google. So I have used this to store all the data of my system. So another advantage of the Google is the availability of the database, where as we know the Google has almost 99.9 availability. So I have used this on my project, and also the security and also the advantage in the term of security. So for the data in Google Firebase, it is different with the SQL database. For Google Firebase, it uses the JSON structure. So all the data that I have stored in the Google Firebase is I must define the data in the JSON format, and it was in the JSON tree structure. And the next one is the Twilio SMS API. Okay, Twilio is a cloud service provider for telecommunication service, where it provide call service, SMS, and SMS services. Twilio has compared to the hardware. Twilio for the Twilio, I have used the Twilio API for sending SMS to user relative. Actually, they are in market. They are available, and that there are product that specifically used for sending SMS, which is the GSM module. But the disadvantage of the GSM module is it need a SIM card, and there must it need a SIM card. But if within the SIM card there are no credit available for sending SMS, the SMS is not able to be sent. So this is the main disadvantage of using the GSM module. So in So the main advantage of the Twilio is it does not have any hardware. So I just call the API and I define the API using the Python language in the Raspberry Pi, and the SMS can be sent based on my condition that I have been set in the system. And the next one is the temperature sensor. This is DS18B20 temperature sensor. It is a digital temperature sensor where I have used this to read the body temperature of the wearer, and the temperature will collect the data and send to the Raspberry Pi. And for the mobile application, so I have developed a mobile application using the Android Studio, and I have used the Java programming language for the development of the mobile application. So this is how my HDWS will work. So there are two components that play that uh, there are five components in this diagram, which is the temperature sensor, Twilio SMS, Raspberry Pi, Firebase, and the mobile application. The temperature sensor will responsible for collecting the data and send to the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi will process the data, and if the temperature is more than 39, so it will send SMS to the user relative using the Twilio SMS API. And the real-time temperature sensor also will be sent to the Google Firebase through the internet by the Raspberry Pi, and the user can view their body temperature on their mobile phone in real time. So for the mobile application, all the data will be retrieved from the Google Firebase directly, but not and the data is not taken from the Raspberry Pi, so it will provide ability to the temperature where it directly retrieve from the Google Firebase as long as there is internet connection. So this is how the circuit diagram that I've connected from Raspberry Pi to the temperature sensor, where I have used pin 1, 8, and 9. As you can see in the diagram, I have used the temperature sensor and resistor to reduce the voltage, and I have generated this graph using the freezing software. So you can on the diagram is the circuit diagram for heatstroke detection system. So as you can see, this is the mobile interface for the heatstroke detection system. The right side is the splash screen of the system, and the next one is the login interface. So for every user in the HDWS, it is compulsory for them to log in into the system. So because it is a security purpose of the system, so they must sign up before they can log in into the system, and the data is not accessible to the public. So this is the dashboard for the heat stroke detection system, where it will display the current temperature of wearer. And on the right side is the menu for the system, where there is home button, my profile, and logout, and also the temperature history. So the user can view the previous heat stroke record on the temperature history. So this is the dashboard, and this is the my profile. When user click on the my profile button, the mobile application will display the information of the user, where the user can upload their profile and edit profile, and also make change their password. So this is the if the heatstroke happen, the pop-up will appear on the top of the screen. So on the right side is the table that recorded with time and the temperature where the heatstroke has happened before. So all the temperature is the heatstroke. So this is the issue that I have faced during the development of my system. The major issue that I have faced is the internet connectivity issue. Because for IoT system, the main requirement for the system to work is need for internet connectivity. So without the internet connectivity, the data could not be sent to the database. The next one is the accuracy of temperature reading. Previously, before for the heatstroke prevention, for the development of HDWS, I have used the Arduino, but the temperature readings is often generate the false error issue. So I have changed the microprocessor to Raspberry Pi. And the next one is the future improvement that I plan to make on the heatstroke detection system. The first one is I want to build a custom circuit board. For a custom circuit board, I must design the circuit board by my own, where I can define what component I want, what sensor that I want to install together on the board. So that the reason why I want to custom the circuit board is I can reduce the size of the device. I can reduce the size of the device of the hardware component, and the user can wear it more easy on their body compared to the current hardware component. I have used the Raspberry Pi, and the size is quite big, and if I custom the circuit board, and the size will be smaller than the current one. So the next improvement is I want to develop an application for iOS system, where currently only have the Android. In the future, I want to develop a system for the iOS platform. And the last one is the perform intelligent data analysis using the Google Cloud platform. As currently, the system only will store the data and keep in the database for the review on the next but for the future improvement, I want to use the data that has been collected and provide a prediction on heat stroke detection system. And the system can provide a prediction on heat stroke, so that the user can get a prediction message from the system about the heat stroke will happen, so that the user can prepare for any heat stroke event. So this is the summary of my presentation, where I have designed a heat stroke detection system, and I have immersed the IoT healthcare using the IoT technology. So I have improved the healthcare in preventing the heat stroke by using the IoT. So the heat stroke can be prevented, the death issue can be also reduced due to the heat stroke. And the next one is I have studied the heat stroke detection domain, and also I have tested and evaluated the heat stroke detection system. So that's all for my presentation. And before I end my presentation, I would like to thanks to both our panel and also Miss Hazila. And also do not forget about my supervisor, where he has helped me a lot and guided me a lot during my development of the system for heat stroke detection system. So that's all from me, and thank you.